Hope you all had a great weekend, as I had a blast in Miami. I got to see a new flare of Standard in full force, and today we're going to be talking about it. This week, I'm going over Green-White Devotion. Miami had a bunch of Abzan and Whip decks, but Green-White Devotion was the breakout deck this week. The technology for this deck is awesome. The early game is all about establishing a great board state. We have Elvish Mystics, Sylvan Caryatid, and Courser of Kruphix to get the mana flowing, and we get to run out an early Polukranos sometimes as well. Our mid to late game plan is to start dropping Master of the Unseen and manifest a bunch of 2/2s. Mastery of the Unseen enables a bunch of life gain on top of Courser, so you are gaining tons of life to stabilize against the faster decks. Whisperwood Elemental helps plop guys onto the battlefield as well. With Temur Sabertooth, we have a way of saving any of our good manifested cards in conjunction with having a great blocker. After we have too many manifested creatures on board, we swing for lethal at the opponent to win the game. I watched a few matches with this deck, and man, it was disgusting. Mastery of the Unseen was absurd. Ugin couldn't stop it because his minus didn't deal with the manifested creatures, Red couldn't stop the life gain, and Abzan never won the attrition war. It was quite obvious this was the best meta call of the year so far. I mean, check it out. There was one drawback to playing this list, and it was that your games are going to take a long time. The final match between Corey Baumeister and Daniel Cecchetti took an hour and 46 minutes to finish. Daniel ended up with the win, but it took him almost 2 hours to achieve it. So a lot of you might be asking, where the heck did this creation come from? From Sam Black. We can trust Sam to post a creative and awesome list on Star City and see people play it. He was also interviewed by the WotC crew. You should take a look at both the article and his interview, and I'll post the link in the comments. Mastery of the Unseen was the tech of the weekend. Sam Black had a test group with it, and Brad Nelson's team also played it with some small innovations. There was even a small Facebook group that tested it to get the kinks worked out. Outside of this weekend, it saw the sideboard play from some Boros and Abzan lists as a way of fighting through control decks. So let's go over what this deck has from the sideboard. We're going to be using Daniel Cechetti's list as it was the deck that won. And the board we have 2 Fleecemane Lion, 1 Glare of Heresy, 2 Hunt the Hunter, 1 Hornet Queen, 2 Nissa Worldwaker, 1 Valorous Stance, 2 Hornet Nest, 2 Reclamation Sage, 1 Last Breath, and 1 Setessan Tactics. For Boros aggro variants, we have 1 Glare of Heresy, 2 Hornet Nest, 2 Reclamation Sage, and 1 Last Breath. For the Abzan control variants, we have 2 Nissa Worldwaker and 1 Hornet Queen. For the Abzan aggro variants, we have 2 Fleecemane Lion, 1 Glare of Heresy, 1 Hornet Queen, and 2 Nissa Worldwaker. For mono red, we have 2 Fleecemane Lion, 2 Hornet Nest, and 1 Last Breath. For Sultai control, we have 2 Nissa Worldwaker, 1 Valorous Stance, and 2 Reclamation Sage. For Dimir control, we have 2 Nissa Worldwaker and 2 Reclamation Sage. For Azorius Heroic, we have 1 Glare of Heresy, 2 Hunt the Hunter, 1 Hornet Queen, and 2 Hornet Nest. I'm not actually going to talk about sideboarding against the mirror, because this was a deck that was not in the spotlight until this past weekend. With the sideboard being this defensive, it was surely the key to success. Let me know if any of you guys and gals out there would make any innovations to the board, or if my analysis was just off. So I was incredibly excited to put this together and start playing right away. I decided to test it out against Dimir control and kept a full 7. Do you think I should have kept this or pitched it for 6? This past weekend was awesome in Miami, and thanks for all of those that came up to see me at the Cool Stuff booth. Can't wait for the next crazy invention in Standard or Modern this coming weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me here at Gathering Magic.